From the East Brunswick Jewish Center, I'm Rabbi Jeff Pivo. Mark Twain once remarked that human beings are the only animals that can blush or need to. What he meant, of course, was that, unlike the animals, our actions are often a source of embarrassment, and rightly so. One of the purposes of crafting a life in the light of religious tradition is to develop a healthy sense of restraint, learning to pull back from the things that might cause us to blush. One way to inculcate religious values is through the constant repetition of those values verbally. In daily prayer, the Shema is at the core of those repetitions, and in this week's Parsha, we find the source for the third paragraph of the Shema, known as Vayomer after its first word. Vayomer speaks of the tzitzit, the ritual fringes worn on a talit, and in antiquity, on everyday garments. Those fringes are meant to remind us of God's expectations of us, and just as seeing them every day served as a reminder to our ancestors to exercise restraint, repeating the words about the tzitzit today in Shema reminds us of those same values. By striving to avoid behaviors that might cause shame to God or to ourselves, we create lives imbued with sanctity. Vayomer points out that looking at the tzitzit will help us to recall the commandments, quote, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge, unquote. Living a life of righteousness does not only include refraining from inappropriate forms of sexuality, but also, as is probably meant here in the Parsha, refraining from lusting, so to speak, after pagan gods. I suspect that few of our members do that literally. I don't know that we have any Baal worshippers at EBJC, but the underlying caution remains. We must restrain ourselves from behaving in ways that fly in the face of Jewish tradition and Jewish values, not only to avoid our own later blushing, but also to prevent God from blushing, so to speak, on our behalf. Imagining God as a watchful parent, we should behave in ways that show that we have heeded our parents' teaching. From all of us at the East Brunswick Jewish Center, Shabbat Shalom.